Welcome to Attleboro Update. With great local man in need of a kidney receives the gift of life, festivities for the Big Read are in full swing, and partner organization Triborough Youth Theater showed that Attleboro.
Welcome to Attleboro Update, where you can get the latest in what's going on in the Attleboro community. You can watch all of our content by visiting our website, AACS.com, by downloading the AACS mobile app, or if you have a Roku, you can search for the AACS Roku channel. Now that the 2020 census is complete, there has been some electoral redistricting and changes in representation. We spoke with the Attleboro Elections Office to learn more.
I'm Mike Murphy, an election commissioner in the city of Attleboro. Well, every 10 years there's a federal census, as you know, and based on that, the laws in the state of Massachusetts require that we rebalance the wards and precincts in the city so that they're all within 5% of the average. Now, the 2020 census in Attleboro showed nearly 2,000 more people than in 2010. But of course, the changes weren't distributed evenly across the city. So what we had to do as election commissioners is go in and make sure that all precincts and wards were within 5% of the average. This did not require a significant number of changes in Attleboro because the number was not that great. Most of the changes occurred within the same ward. For example, in Ward 4, if you were in Ward 4A, and or rather 4B, and you lived on Slater Street, you're probably now in 4A. So a large section of Slater Street just went from 4B to 4A. You'll still be voting at the same place at La Salette. The ballots will be the same because you're in the same ward. Now, in a few cases, especially around the edges of wards, for example, Ward 1 along Lower County Street, a lot of that moved into Ward 2. So there are some instances in which people will change wards. The Election Commission will be sending out a postcard to every voter in the city of Attleboro, notifying them where their ward and precinct is. And again, as I mentioned, if you're in the same ward but have just changed precincts, the voting place doesn't change. So the voting places for the coming year are the same as they were for the city election last year and the same as they were for the state election the year before. Now, the ward and precinct will often affect who your city councilor is and your school committee representative, but that's not on the ballot this year. That will be next year, and by that time, everybody should be pretty well used to where their ward and their precinct and their voting location is. There are a couple of impacts this year, though, as well. No change in state representatives. So the 2nd Bristol District, which is represented right now by Representative Jim Hawkins, remains the same. It's every ward and precinct in the city except 3B, exactly as it was before. 3B is Representative Adam Scanlon. Now on state senator, however, it's a large change. Wards 1, 2, and 3A were formerly in the Norfolk-Bristol district, which is represented by Senator Becker Rausch. Now, the entire city of Attleboro is in the Senate district that is represented by Senator Paul Feeney. So that will be a change for people, especially in wards 1, 2, and 3A. As far as the congressional district, Representative Auchincloss, the 4th congressional district, Attleboro was completely in that district before. It remains completely in that district. So the only change from a redistricting point of view is in the senator, the state senator.
The Attleboro Arts Museum is holding their annual 8 Visions exhibit featuring the work from 8 juried member artists. We spoke with museum director Mim Fawcett to learn more.
We are currently showing 8 Visions in our Otmar Gallery. 8 Visions is a special show. It's an annual show that this year is running until August 26th here at the museum. It is special because it features the work of 8 juried member artists. Now, these artists apply to be considered for this show, and the whole process starts in December when our member show is on view. This year, 54 artists applied to be considered to be in this show here in the summertime. And our juror, Ly-Sung Keen from Ly-Sung Keen Gallery in Boston, reviewed all of the work from all of the applicants and narrowed the field down to 20. Those 20 finalists were asked to create a portfolio of work, 12 pieces each, that would then go on to 2 new jurors. One was Sarah Johnson from the Cahoon Museum of American Art, and one was Eric Grau from the Piano Factory Gallery in Boston. Those jurors reviewed the work independently, went through all of the 20 portfolios, and ranked the artists according to their preference. Then it becomes very clinical, very mathematical. I blend the two together, and the top 8 artists are then admitted to 8 Visions. Now, it's always very interesting because I don't really get to see this work. I'm not involved in the jurying process. I leave it exclusively to our guest jurors. Once the artists are determined, that's when I start to know them and their work. And it was an absolute pleasure this year. The mediums that you will see in the gallery range from textile to welded steel to recycled newspaper to incredible displays of photography. Somehow, and this happens every year, the work does come together. There are beautiful connections that are made. And I think about this often and I wonder how this happens. This is a random group from 50 plus to 20 to ultimately 8. How does this work all seem to sing together in harmony? And the common denominator is that it's all incredibly strong. The work is so powerful. The execution is always right on point. The concepts are not typical. There's always an interesting voice that comes from each artist. So when you have that high standard of work, it's a pleasure to curate, and it's also not surprising that the quality meets quality, and there are interesting connections that are made. You'll see that there are layers and layers and stories being told. There are some common themes dealing with COVID, dealing with periods of lockdown, dealing with having to face your walls in your home for more days than you would hope, facing family members and appreciating what's around us, but also dealing with experimental materials and commentary on social situations that are challenging so many of us currently. The work is up until August 26th. You can learn more about 8 Visions by visiting the museum's website, www.attleboroartsmuseum.org, or stopping by the museum. We are open with free admission Tuesday through Saturday. We're open from 10 until 4 p.m. in the summer.
The Attleboro Arts Museum is putting on their Summer Art Week program for kids and teens. The program gives participants an opportunity to explore various art techniques. AACS got an inside look.
My name is Marco Welt, and I am in 6th grade, and in the Attleboro Art Museum right now, I am using chalk pastel, to make pieces like this cactus I have right here, and also the pieces I have behind me, a strawberry and a picture of Monet. Usually I like painting mostly, but I will really draw, paint, or do any of the mediums. I have actually been drawing since kindergarten, but when my mother allowed me to go into the Attleboro Art Museum, it really helped me boost my art skills and helped me get a better eye for art. The teachers are really helpful, and they really help me boost my art skills and really help and push me into the right direction. I would like to thank my mother for allowing me to come here because it really helped me. Don't overthink doing your pieces, because art is more of just letting go and just doing whatever you want, because it's your piece and anything is art. And even if you make a mistake, that's where the best pieces come from.
Hi, I'm Lisa Granata. I am an arts educator at the Attleboro Arts Museum. We're here for our Summer Arts Intensive program. I've been teaching here since 1993. 3, and this week I have 9 to 13-year-olds. They're working with pastels, and they've been experimenting with pastel techniques of scumbling, line work, texture, layering of colors, blending. We've done impressionistic work, we've done realistic work. The cactus piece they're working on now is some sort of mixture of all of those. We have lots of texture and line work and lots of blending and realism. They're all focusing on tinting and shading as well, and their compositions. I love to see the children, the artists, young artists, emerging as successful artists to build their skills and confidence and grow as artists.
My name is Meredith Passy. I'm an art instructor here at the Attleboro Arts Museum. Right now we have a chalk pastel class going on for our summer program. We've been working with chalk pastels, using different techniques. We've tried them dry, we've tried them wet to create art inspired by art history. And we've been using collage materials, different types of papers, magazines, newspapers, to also create art inspired by art history. The age group I have here is 5 to 8-year-olds. They've responded very well to the art. A lot of them are asking great questions about the art, who the artists are, what the mediums are, and a little bit about the artists themselves, about their lives.
My name is Abby Rivaldi. I'm the programs coordinator here at the Attleboro Arts Museum. We are midway through our Summer Art Week program. Right now you can see the magic happening around me. We are so thrilled to provide this opportunity to students. This particular week they are working in chalk pastels in the morning and then transition to collage in the afternoon. So they're really getting a full spectrum of wonderful techniques and processes and experimentation. So we're thrilled to provide this opportunity, and these artists are our next generation, so we are very excited to see their creations at the end of each week. We have incredible art instructors here at the museum. They are artists themselves, so they bring a very special vibe to the studios. For more information about the museum's art classes or our events and exhibitions that are coming up, visit our website at attleboroartsmuseum.org or stop by. We're located across from City Hall in downtown Attleboro at 86 Park Street.
In addition to their kids' summer reading, the Attleboro Public Library also has a summer reading program for adults. We spoke with the Reader Services Coordinator to learn more.
Hi, I'm Darcy Schillinger. I'm the Reader Services Coordinator here at the Attleboro Public Library, and I am in charge of the adult summer reading. This summer, the thing that we are doing is a book bingo, and book bingo is really fun. It's a lot of open-ended prompts, and you just get to choose some prompts of things to read or listen to or watch. And once you've checked off 5 of the squares, you can email your card back to me and you'll receive a prize. We have some awesome prizes this year. We're going to do some gift cards to some really great local restaurants, so you can get a snack. And then everybody that completes the summer bingo, or not completes it entirely, but fills out the squares and submits to me, will be entered to win one of 3 grand prizes, which will be a bigger gift card to another local restaurant, and some bookish prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. The summer reading is a program that most libraries in the United States do, and most libraries do adult summer reading now too, so it's really great to get the adults involved. Both parents of younger kids who are doing the children's program and even other adults who don't have children can get involved and participate. And it's just a really great way to expand your reading horizons, maybe read some new titles, check out some things you hadn't done before. We also have some really great programming. We're super excited that we're going to be doing in-person programming again this summer. In August, I have some folks who are mushroom foragers coming to do a program about summer mushroom hunting, which I think people will really, really love. I'm also doing some adult crafts. If you remember going to camp and doing crafts, it's a little bit of a throwback to that. So we're doing some things like making friendship bracelets and geode painting and nature journals. And those are kind of a hybrid program where on Friday afternoons in the summer in July and August, I'm going to have kind of an open house to show you how to do the craft, but it'll also be available as a take and make so that you can come in and take the supplies and go home and do it on your own. The best part about my job is probably getting to talk with people about books. I love to hear what people are reading and get exposed to, different titles and have good conversations with people about books. So we hope to see you at the library. We're at 74 North Main Street in Attleboro. We're super excited that we're getting to do programming in person again, and we really hope that everybody will come back for our book clubs, for our programs, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you're looking for out of your library.
The summer is wrapping up and the Attleboro City pools are open for only one more week. The Recreation Department's lifeguards are essential in making sure that pools stay safe. AACS spoke with a few of the city's lifeguards to learn more about their role.
Hi, my name is John Pearl. I'm one of the head guards here at Spatcher Pool in Attleboro. I make sure that the safety here is being enforced and that all the lifeguards are on the same page for the rules and hours and any other day-to-day things that might happen. Some of the basic rules at the pool here are no running on the pool deck, no diving in the pool, and the little kids have to take a swim test before they go into the deep end. If you're over 13, you don't have to take the swim test. However, we make sure that if you're under that, you take the swim test, which is one length of the pool, and then you have to tread water for a minute. That ensures that only adequate swimmers are allowed in the deep end, which gets to 4 and 5 feet, because that's the biggest risk for drowning is young kids trying to go in the deep end. And our lifeguards are very safe about making sure that only the tall or old can go in the deep end if they don't pass the swim test. Some of the other pool rules are no walking on this blue wall there, because it's very slippery. As soon as a kid stands on there, they have to immediately sit down because it's a huge factor for they could fall off and bang their head, in which case one of the lifeguards would have to go in and rescue them, and we would much rather prevent that. There's no alcohol or smoking in the pool area. You are allowed to bring your own chairs, and you can bring food. However, you're only allowed to eat it back in the grassy area because if it gets on the pool deck, it can become much more of a mess and safety factor. The lifeguard training course makes sure that all lifeguards are adequate swimmers and are knowledgeable of the pool rules. It's about a 3-day, full-day course, depends on which one you take. And you go through swim test and learning all the different types of saves and jumps in the pool.
Hi, I'm Ann Pearl. I'm a head lifeguard here at Spatcher. Part of that role includes lifeguarding, but as well as jobs like cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the pool, scheduling, and just like overseeing that everything's kind of fine here. You have to get certified to be a lifeguard every 2 years, and then you have to redo CPR, first aid. It's not bad though, definitely worth it I think, and it's just good skills to have, like even if you aren't a lifeguard. We usually recommend any life jackets for kids. We provide life jackets if they need it. I definitely recommend that just for safety reasons, any parent goes in the water with their little kid, especially if they're like a toddler and an infant. We only allow soft toys in the water, and usually only if it's like a kind of quiet day. It gets busy and people can hit each other, which isn't fun. Hands to yourself in the pool, no tackling, even if you are a sibling. A lot of incidents that we have here is little kids that go too deep. So usually throw the tube, and if that doesn't reach them, then you hop in and just like walk them back into the shallow end. A lot of my siblings have done this, same as my dad. I love being a lifeguard here. I'd recommend it to anyone.
That's all for this week's edition of Attleboro Update. From everyone here at AACS, thank you for watching.